Welcome to Shark Cap Table LITE. Let's make a deal and keep your arms and legs. This is for one round of equity and royalty financing. We're going to dive right into this. So let's put in 2 million shares, which includes founder shares and management options. Let's do a 15% founder shares and options, which is 300,000, and let's give it 100. Well, let's give it 200. It makes a little difference, but there it is, $200 option pool nominal cost. Now let's say you have $15,000 of actual skin in the game. That's cash that you've spent. Now this $450,000 number, we're going to go over to the detailed founder valuation, scroll up, and you will see that we've got a number of components. There are a total of 6 skin in the game. Have you any beta test revenues, and so forth and so on. You can enter into the blue areas, and you can even change the blue numbers yourself or change the line names. So here we have a total of 465 open for changes. Now, we need to put a shark pre-money value in. It's never going to be what you think is the value of the company, so maybe you're going to get lucky and they'll say it's worth $400,000. Remember, as this number gets smaller, their share of the company gets bigger. And you'd like to make this bigger so their share gets smaller. Now the shark cap investment is going to be about $300,000. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to scroll in here, $300,000, and there we are. We got a post-money value, which is simply the pre-money value plus the cash they put in. Now let's go down here and do a revenue projection. There, that's better. You can see it. I've already laid in the projections for 7 years. Next thing we need to do is figure out which year we'd like to sell. Let's try a year 5, and you can see that we can move this around. I'm going to dial into this what I think we might sell the company for. I'm also going to be watching this because I'm going to try to target about 2.3. There, 2.3 times revenues happens to be $4.5 million. Now, let's come on down here and look at the equity deal. We've already structured the deal, so we're going to see some end numbers. Here's the $300,000 equity investment. This is the pre-money value. Sell in year 5, and this is the amount of the total return, and that's reflected up here. That happens to be 42.9% of $4.5 million. Now, we have the multiple, the IRR, and the ownership. The first thing I'm going to do, and they happen to be already done for us, is we want to copy this number over here. This is a scratch pad so that we can remember what happens when we do a royalty. Now, the problem with this deal is they own 42.9%. I'd like to get that in the 30s. How we do that is come up here and do a combo deal. Now the combo deal is in the yellow, and it's going to consist of the equity plus the royalty. What we're going to do is we're going to spin in a 5% gross sales royalty. It's going to start in year 2, and it's going to continue on, but it will end for purposes at the sale, which is year 5. Now this 5% royalty gives you $187,500 more, so that their total return now is a little over $2 million. Now, they've got now a 48.9% internal rate of return. What we're going to do is we're going to increase the pre-money value until we reach 45.1. That 45.1 will be right there. So let's click it a few times. Oop, we went right by it. Doesn't take much. Now, remember we used to have 42.9, and we now have 37.5, so we've saved several points of equity. Not a bad deal. Now, I'm going to tell you about another type of royalty which actually the professional investors prefer, and that is a preferential royalty. We're going to zero these out, and we're going to return the pre-money so that we come back to the same old 42.9. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to apply a preferential multiple. We're going to make that 3, and I'll show you why in a moment. So there's our 3. We're going to sell them the royalty. Now watch what happens. Every time I put money over here, it's going to subtract it because we want to keep the same amount of money raised. We don't care if it's equity or royalty money that's coming in, but the reason for the royalty is that we can shave off ownership points. So here we go. We're going to go to $50,000. This used to be 300, so now the 50 and the 250 makes 300,000. Now we have to apply a percentage, so let's go to 5%. And you notice that it turns red when you need to do something, because this is very important that you fill out all three components of the preferential royalty. So now that 3 multiple at 5% gives the guy, 3 multiple based on his cost, gives him $150,000 preferential royalty revenue. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to reduce the internal rate of return so that it reaches 45.1. But remember, this internal rate of return now has gone up by virtue of the fact that he only has to put in $250,000. But that's going to come down when we look at the combination. So we are going to increase the pre-money value until we see 45.1. Well, we'll go to 44.8, and there we are. This is the combo deal, and this should be a good deal for everybody. Don't forget to read the instructions on the side here, and we've got pop-ups along the way here. We've got them over in this area, but just to prove that we have them, see, we got them here. So we'll put this back over on the right-hand side. Now, let's go down and look at another portion of this wonderful tool. Here we're going to talk about the actual investment. It's a concatenated statement, which means anytime you change anything in this area up in here, you're going to see the changes reflected immediately in the words. Now here we have a capitalization table, and we have 3 components: the shark share, the founder, and the option pool, and we also do a total to see how the whole thing is working. But we have the components: the investment, the shares issued, the share price, post-money, exit value, the royalty multiple, and the internal rate of return for the 5 years. Now last but not least comes the shark pitch maker. Now what we do is we take phrases that we've given to you for a go-by. You're going to kind of create your own, and then the software magic will weave them all together with appropriate numbers and words that you've written into a very good paragraph. So the first thing we want to do is select the type of business that we're doing. Well, we have software, manufacturing, service, internet distribution, gas, and oil. Since we're in the software business, we'll just select software. Now, this is the name of our company, Brucent. I'm Bruce Bedeau, the writer and the inventor of this tool, and Glenn Gutierrez is my marketing partner, the genius that will get this into your hands. Now, the next thing we have to do is we have to realize that we've been prepared for a 5-year sale, so this little phrase will be used, and it says this investment will help us reach our 5-year projected revenue of $2 million. Now, as long as these two numbers are the same, you're going to see green. I'll show you what happens if you make it less. It seems silly to be selling before your goal, so make them the same. Green is good. Now, what we've done is we've actually written about the software business in each of these light gray areas. Right now, this light blue wording is actually connected, but you're going to break the connection, no big bad deal. And you're going to write something which looks and feels like what we've said here. Emulate, copy, simulate. We don't care. We want it to be pretty close. Now, once you get all this done, you come down here and presto, it's all in this one paragraph. Now, you can cut and paste this into Microsoft Word or your business plan or whatever. You can even edit it. For example, we have a little 7 at the beginning. We use that to identify it because we've got a couple of dozen of these things. It's very hard to find out when you make a mistake, and there have been some mistakes, but we've cleaned them all up. It is grammatically perfect, and the punctuation is exactly correct. Now, the last thing that the Shark Cap Table LITE does is it takes everything that we've done and puts it into a one-page executive summary. There is one little thing that you have to do. You have to write this paragraph, the summary of the opportunity. Now, if we click over to the detailed founder valuation, you're going to scroll to the bottom, and we've given you 11 questions that are absolutely critical. You must answer these and think about them. If you've got good answers, you're likely to raise money. If you have bad answers, the investors are going to walk. But the answers to these 11 questions can be very helpful when you write the summary of the opportunity. Now, we've left this in here. It's not linked. It's just something that we wrote. And Now you're going to recognize the yearly revenue projections. This is the chart that came from the other page. We did color it. Here's the proposed offering. That also happens on the other sheet. And here's the capitalization table. And presto, one more time, you see the two-founder pitch. Now, if you get into some questions, drop us an email. Maybe we can help you. Get out there and make some deals happen. Let us know how you're doing, and good luck. One more thing to remember. When we go over to Shark Cap Table Fast, right now you'll see a bunch of zeros. And the reason that you see zeros and you won't be able to do anything with them is that LITE has been set up as a combo. When you use a combo in LITE, it precludes. Remember, it precludes FAST from being used. FAST does not analyze a combination deal. Shark Cap Table Fast is only for equity. And right here in the red little signpost here, it says to use FAST, 0 royalty spinners in sheet Shark Cap Table LITE, Section D. Select equity from drop-down, return to FAST. So, get busy, make some deals, tell us how you're doing, and thanks for your interest in Shark Cap Table Fast and Shark Cap Table LITE. Remember, Fast, LITE, and Pro come for a short period of time in our special introductory offer. They're all together. Thank you very much. Come visit us, sharkcaptable.com.